Here's your thing. It came in the mail. Are you gonna unbox it on my live feed here? So if you pop on here, tell me what are you having for dinner? First thing I'm gonna do is rinse these Brussels sprouts really good. These are looking kind of sad. I cannot wait to grow my own Brussels sprouts. And then I'm going to put these pork chops in a bowl, and I'll show you the magic things that I put on them. If I can even get in this cupboard. If I can get to the stuff that I have here. I got the computer in front of. I've never like cooked anything on YouTube live before, so let me just leave that cabinet door open. So, and we're gonna open up the pork chops. What's for dinner at your house? This is like my husband's favorite dinner. So I usually take the pork chops out and I put flour and some seasonings on them, and then I let them do their thing for a little bit. Put some salt. You don't want to see me, you want to see cooking. Put some salt. Some pepper. And some Tony's. Tony's. Do you use Tony's? If you live in the South and you don't use Tony's, then there's also something wrong with you, apparently. Oh, wow, what'd you get? Oh, that's so cool. I actually got her. I just inhaled some Tony's. That's so cute. Is Aiden going to help you unbox it? All right, so far I've put Tony's and salt and pepper on these. And I'll throw in some flour. And I'm just going to kind of... The other important ingredient that we put on here is something... Here it is. Why does Alexa keep talking to me? All right, then I'm going to put some Kitchen Bouquet browning seasoning. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle that on there. And flip it around. A little more salt. Don't forget that, this has salt in it. So, and it's kind of spicy. So if you're someone who doesn't like spice, you want to go easy with it. I'm married to a Southern man who does not like things that are really spicy. So kind of odd, right? All right, so that is our pork that we're going to let just chill for a little bit. Hold on, guys. I got to wash my hands.
Can we get some scissors? Thanks, you.
I seriously inhaled some Tony's up my nose. And I was like, Alexa, stop talking to me. Alexa's like talking. Who likes Alexa and who thinks Alexa's kind of freaky? All right, so it's time to chop the Brussels sprouts. So if you have been wondering how do I chop my Brussels sprouts, I will show you. Let's chop-a-roo. All right, so I got my Brussels sprouts kind of rinsed off. If I had vinegar, I would have soaked these in vinegar. Just going to give them a couple of... I splashed myself. I'm just going to give them a couple of rinses, and then I'm going to cut them. So let's see. I'm sorry, guys, that you can't see my face, but here, let me try to like this. Okay, so we're going to cut the Brussels. I cut off the bottom part. Boom. And then you have this. And then I'm just going to take this awesome, beautiful knife and that my husband keeps nice and sharp, so it makes it easier. And I'm just gonna cut them in quarters. Oh. All right, and then I will put them in another place. And meanwhile, while I'm chopping these Brussels, I'm going to use my handy dandy little chopper for onions. My husband got me this. Really helps if you struggle with chopping onions and like how it gets to your eyes. So if you use this, it kind of keeps it all contained inside this. So I'm going to grab out an onion. Some of my friends were talking about, they wanted to wash dishes with me, but my dishes are not too bad today, so I figured we would cook. So I grabbed an onion and garlic. And if you guys are here and you want to introduce yourselves, you want to like follow each other on YouTube, go ahead and shout out your channel and what you do and what you make videos about. And I don't care if you come on here and say, hey, sub to my channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. Because I am all about sharing the love. Okay, so this is going in the compost. So do onions make you cry? Because onions usually make me cry really bad. So this is how I manage that. I just take this bad boy and I just quickly cut my onion. Not too quickly, you don't want to cut yourself. Just cut my onion in quarters. Pop it in here. Plug it in. Woo, see, it's already getting to me. I'm sniffing pepper and Alexa, play Van Morrison. You can't cook without music, guys. You can't. Alexa, play Van Morrison on iHeartRadio. All right. So we got awesome onions that are, see, I don't want to open it because it's really gnarly, but yeah, chopped onions. Now I'm going to turn on this beautiful Magnolite pot. This is the best for making gravy. I'm going to show you guys how to make this delicious. Yes, ma'am.
I opened the first box and it has a watermelon.
That's so cute. And she has a watermelon dress too.
Yeah.
So
And look at her
cute.
shoes.
Oh my goodness, she's so cute.
Yeah, she's so pretty. And look at her pants. They're pink.
Oh, and we got to start the rice. I'm so happy for you, Dixie.
Me too.
So we're going to start the rice too. I put this computer like right in the way in my kitchen. All right, so rice. Let's make rice. So that's the thing about cooking at home to save money, right? Some nights you just really aren't feeling it. My husband texted me and he said, "You want me to pick up dinner?" And I was like, "No, I got it. I'm going to cook it." And it's worth it because it's going to be healthier. Mahatma I think is a Louisiana brand, and then jasmine rice. Mahatma. Oh, Houston, Texas, but product of Thailand. Okay. Anyway, my pen rye. Doesn't matter. Okay. Don't worry, be happy. All right, so our pork chops are chilling, and we're gonna rinse this rice. And I'll give you a quick rice lesson while you're here. So I rinsed my rice. I don't measure, I just pour in. It's about this much rice in here. Somebody's here. That's cool. Whoever's here, what's up? If not, you just check this out later if you're needing some dinner inspiration someday. So I'm going to rinse the rice probably about 3 times. All right. Okay. So I've rinsed it. I'm probably going to rinse it one more time. I just rinse it like a bunch so it runs fairly clear. All right. And then I'm going to fill it back up. And then I'm going to do the finger test. So when the tip of my finger touches the rice, then the water should come up to my first knuckle. Can you see this? You can't see it, but okay, so when my finger touches the rice, the water comes up to my first knuckle. I'm about there. It's pretty good. And usually I just go for it and it's fine. So that is how I cook rice. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to put it on the rice cooker and start the rice, because the rice takes, 20 minutes. So you want to start your rice as you start cooking dinner. Oh, and I'm starting to heat up this pan. I haven't really heard multitasking. I don't know how chefs do it, man. I mean, I could multitask as a waitress, but having like a bunch of orders coming up and all that sounds pretty rough to me. My husband was a chef professionally for years and years. He was really good at it. He's good at multitasking. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm not going to put any grease down in the pan, okay, because these have fat on them and we want them to stick. So I'm going to wait for that to get pretty warm, and then we're going to throw these on there, and I'm going to show you how they cook. And I've got the onions ready to go in there. And if I had chicken broth is amazing for making rice and gravy. But I don't have chicken broth, so I will just be adding water and letting it cook down. And letting the natural flavors come out. So who eats raw garlic? I only eat raw garlic when I'm like sick and I really need to feel better. And then I eat raw garlic. But I always cook with garlic. It's super delicious. Down here in the South, the Holy Trinity is celery, green bell pepper, and onions. So most things are cooked with those three things. But I'm not a huge fan of green bell pepper. I mean, I use it when I cook like gumbo and things. But I don't really like the taste of green bell peppers. I like to eat colored bell peppers raw. But yeah, I don't really like bell peppers. So I just crushed a couple of garlic cloves, and I'm just going to chop those up just a little bit. And, oh, you can't even see. Just chopping this garlic a little bit. And the thing with garlic is you don't want to put it in right away with the onions and such, because garlic will burn a lot easier than onions. So, so this is heating up. So I'm going to go ahead and throw these, just a couple of these in the pan. And I don't want them to touch each other, so I'm just going to put 2 in. Oh, they're like huge. But I'm not going to put them all in, because if they get to touching each other, then they don't cook right. So, sorry. You have to have space in between the meat, I guess. So, whatever. I don't know why. I can't explain it, you guys. Don't do it. All right, let's see. So we're going to finish chopping the Brussels sprouts. I wish somebody would say something so that I could talk about something and not feel like I'm just a crazy person talking to myself. But that's okay. I should probably call my mom instead of streaming live on YouTube, but whatever. Sometimes people just need something on Friday night. Like, I know I was like, oh, sometimes on Friday nights I miss, drinking. And I wish my husband would bring me another bottle of kombucha because I love it. But I don't want to make him stop extra on his way home. So I'm just going to cook dinner. So I'm quartering my Brussels again. Be careful. That would be terrible if I cut myself on live YouTube. So I can hear the meat starting to sizzle. And the trick is when you're making a gravy, or when you're cooking like this, you want it to set on the pan, and you want it to stick. because the sticking to the pan part is where you get all of your delicious gravy. So that is a trick to getting like yummy gravy is you've got to make your meat stick to the pan. And so it's really weird. I just learned that. My husband taught me how to like cook Southern food. I already knew how to cook rice. I knew that by myself because I grew up in Hawaii, but my husband taught me how to make gumbo and how to make a roux and how to make rice and gravy and yeah, because these Southern boys, they like to eat their Southern way. So you learn how to make stuff. I like cooking. I have to have music on. I got some Van Morris Sensation playing back there in the background. Because if you don't put love into your food when you cook it, then it's just not going to taste good. So I'm trying to stay encouraged to cook more at home, and that really saves money and it saves your health because when you're eating out, it's bad. I can't afford to eat out anyway, and then so we just get fast food, which isn't even that more affordable, and it's way, way, way worse for you. We'll get like fried chicken or whatever, and it's like, So, even if what you're cooking at home isn't, like vegan surprise, fancy, like super healthy, you're still cooked it at home with love. And I do think that love counts. And it definitely saves money to cook at home. And when I was working full-time away from home, I still work full-time. I just work from home. Technically, I don't work full-time, though. Technically, I only teach about 20 hours a week. But when I was working outside the home, I would get home at at 5 o'clock, right? And did not want to cook dinner at all. So we ate out a lot more when I was not teaching from home. And it was bad. So now I at least feel a little more motivated to cook. Okay, we're going to check on this. Hey guys, I see somebody else came. Hello, welcome. So here's our meat. The lighting is really bad, I'm sorry. I tried to put a light in here. So you can hear it, and it's kind of sticking, but I'm going to let it cook a little longer. I'm actually going to turn it up just a little. And pretty soon we'll be pulling it off, and you'll get to see why I wait till it sticks before I move it around. And you add the onions after you've got it all stuck to the bottom, and after you've moved it around and got it stuck on both sides. I'm trying to make this so I can talk. All right, so new addiction is YouTube Live. Good times. Somebody say something. Damn it. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. I just went to town and saw my friends for a brief moment. Shout out. Amy, Jamie, Dana. Saw them for a brief moment. Got a hug from a friend. Rice is cooking, Brussels are chopping, and so I'm going to roast these Brussels. Oh, look, it's last night's pizza. Great. Anyway, I'm going to roast my Brussels in the oven. And once again, I don't have any bacon, so I am just going to use olive oil and salt and brown sugar on my Brussels sprouts. What do you guys like to listen to when you cook? What is for dinner, party people, on this Friday night? Nobody's here because everybody's out partying. That's what my mind tells me. And you know what I say? You are not alone. It's really important that when you're feeling down and out, that you reach out, because there are other people feeling that way. There's other people out there right now I know who are like, I don't want to cook dinner. I just don't. And you know what? That's okay. You're forgiven. But for me, I just kind of felt it tonight, so I decided to share this cooking adventure with the world. Okay, it's time to go mess with our chops. Hold on, I have 2 more Brussels sprouts to chop up. And then we will check on our din-dins. Here's my pile. Just cutting off the ends of the Brussels sprouts. I cannot wait to get Brussels sprouts from the garden. I am so excited. Although they're not very big right now, but I still have hope that I'll be able to grow Brussels sprouts in between the cold and the way too hot season here in Louisiana. All right, so all of these Brussels sprouts are going in the compost. It stinks. All right, let's go check on this really quick. I need a fork. Okay, so we're just gonna see they're stuck. Look, I'm lifting up the whole pot. I probably turned it up too high. Do not drop the computer. All right, so you have to get them unstuck now once they're stuck. So I gotta put this down. But the sticky part is what you want. You want them to stick a little bit. It's okay. That's how you get that gravy. Ow. Who actually cooks live? I like to watch people cook live.
Mom, look at her.
Oh, she's so cute.
I want to mess up her hairband.
I can fix her hairband in a minute. All right, we're going to throw this other one on, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I promise I'll fix her as soon as I get dinner ready.
Bye, guys.
You showing them? All right, so let's look at this. It's making me cough. It's spicy. But you can see how it sticks on there. And you want that. You want that because later on I'm going to scrape that up. And that is what will make the gravy like super delicious. So I'm waiting for those to get good. And then I'm going to dump my onions on top. And I'm going to get this pan ready to roast the Brussels in the oven. What is for dinner out there, people? I want to know, I wonder, who cooks the same thing all the time? Who changes it up? What are your suggestions? I like to make French dip sandwiches. Those are always good. It's hard when your husband's a chef or an ex-chef. It's hard because he likes simple food, and he's not really picky about what I cook, but he actually kind of is, I think. He just wants me to cook, and it took me a while to adjust to I would be like, I'm not just gonna cook because I'm a woman, and it's like, what, now that I'm home and I have the energy and time to do it, I really don't mind. I don't mind. So I need olive oil. You're supposed to keep your olive oil in the cabinet in the dark and out of the heat. So don't do what I just left it on the counter. So I'm going to take my Brussels. I'm not going to cook this cap. And it's not a lot of them. I'm just going to put a little olive oil. Stir it up. And then a little bit later on, I will add some brown sugar after I cook them a little bit. This is a really yummy way to get them. They get kind of crispy and soft, so it's yummy. That's that. Super easy, simple. If you have bacon or bacon grease, put a little bit of that for flavor. That's good, but we're eating pork anyway, so whatever. So I'm gonna come over and flip. It's almost time to add the onions. It's looking pretty good. All right, we're gonna add the onion. Don't get seasick. All right, so in go the delicious, this one whole yellow onion. Oops. Just down in there with all that meat. And then we're gonna stir that up in there and let that cook down. The rice is still cooking. That's it, you guys. You can stay and watch if you want. I'm going to stir this up a little, and as you stir it, you kind of scrape on the bottom, and that's gonna get all the what was stuck to the bottom up and off and into your sauce. It's called gravy, but it's not really like gravy because it's not thickened really. There's a little bit of flour, but it's not thick like gravy, but it's you cook it down until it is thicker like a gravy, but it's not your typical like floury gravy. So I'm going to cook this for another 5 minutes or so, and then I'm going to add water, and I'm going to add a little more seasoning, salt, pepper, and homies. Actually, I'm going to do that now. Then I'm going to add, just cover the meat with water, just cover it, and then I leave it open to cook down, and the meat cooks. You cook it for about an hour, and you'll notice your sauce, your gravy starting to thicken. So I already put that. All right, so that is in there cooking. I'm not going to cook the Brussels yet because the Brussels cook up quick, and then you have Brussels that have been cooked and they're just sitting and waiting, and you don't want that. So just another hour to wait, I guess, on this, and yeah. So we're going to have roasted Brussels sprouts, pork and gravy, and rice. We'll probably have rolls too, you guys. It's Friday. This is how we party. So, and then this is like such a genius creation. I love it so much. I'm gonna go ahead and try to get all the onions out of it so that they're not stinking in the kitchen. There's onions and garlic in there. I wish I had chicken broth. Usually I buy a whole chicken and then I cook it and we eat it, and then I cook the broth overnight in my slow cooker to make homemade broth, which is super healthy, and it makes everything you make better. So, for example, if you make homemade enchiladas, I should make those sometime because I make them very good for a white girl, but I love Mexican food, and chicken broth is the key to good enchilada sauce. I hate canned enchilada sauce. So bad, so bad. So let me know if you guys watch this later, or if you want to comment and tell me, what do you want to see us cook? What do you want to learn how to cook that I might know how to cook? Because it's just kind of fun to jump on and say, this is what's for dinner at your house. So let me know. You want to know how to make bread pudding? I make a mean bread pudding. What else can I cook? Yeah, I cook enchiladas. I can make gumbo, but I feel weird acting like I can make gumbo because I am just a transplanted girl, not a southern girl. So I feel like if I make gumbo, like I'm gonna like break some sort of like southern rule or something, and like everybody's gonna hate me. So, but I do make good gumbo. I think I make good gumbo. I like shrimp and sausage gumbo. So there's that again. So thank you guys for tuning in, and yeah, have a wonderful Friday night. I hope your dinner is delicious, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.